The South China Sea has once again become the center of attention, as multiple Chinese spy ships have been intercepted in contested waters. Their mission? To collect intelligence, monitor naval activities, and probe the limits of regional defenses. But their presence has not gone unanswered. Chinese surveillance vessels equipped with advanced radar, signal intercept technology, and electronic warfare systems were recently detected operating near key maritime routes. Their objective was clear: monitor U.S. and allied military activities. However, patrol forces from the Philippines, supported by allied surveillance aircraft, moved to intercept. The interceptions highlight growing unease in the region. Spy ships of this kind often operate under the guise of research or civilian missions, but their real purpose is intelligence gathering. By shadowing military drills and tracking naval deployments, China seeks to gain a tactical edge in any future confrontation. The Chinese military says it has driven away a U.S. destroyer that has sailed near a disputed area in the South China Sea, while the U.S. Navy has defended its movements as being in line with international law. The first known U.S. military operation within the Scarborough Shoals waters in at least 6 years came a day after the Philippines accused Chinese vessels of dangerous maneuvers and unlawful interference during a supply mission around the atoll. 2 Chinese ships collided while pursuing a Philippines vessel on Monday, prompting countries, including Australia, to criticize Beijing for its actions in the South China Sea. In a statement on Wednesday, the Chinese military's Southern Theater Command said the USS Higgins had entered the waters without approval of the Chinese government. The U.S. move seriously violated China's sovereignty and security, severely undermined peace and stability in the South China Sea, it added, vowing to maintain a high alert at all times. In response, the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet said, China's statement about this mission is false. It added that the Higgins had asserted navigational rights and freedoms near the Scarborough Shoal, consistent with international law. The operation reflected the U.S. commitment to uphold freedom of navigation and lawful uses of the sea, the 7th Fleet told Reuters in an emailed statement. The United States is defending its right to fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, as USS Higgins did here. Nothing China says otherwise will deter us. China claims almost the entire South China Sea, overlapping the exclusive economic zones of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Unresolved disputes over the ownership of various islands and features have festered for years. The U.S. regularly carries out freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, challenging what it says are curbs on innocent passage imposed by China and other claimants. The Dongdiao-class electronic surveillance ship, the Tianlong-Xin, was confirmed to be sailing westward approximately 80 miles off Okinawa Prefecture's Miyako Island at around 6 a.m., the Japanese Defense Ministry's joint staff said. The ship then reportedly followed a northwesterly course that took it through the Miyako Strait, a strategic choke point separating Miyako and Okinawa's main island, and toward the East China Sea. In response, the country's de facto navy, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, sent the Fubuki-class destroyer, the Amagiri, to gather information on the Chinese vessel. The Tianlong-Xin was last reported in waters near Japan on June 10th. That day, it transited from the East China Sea to the Philippine Sea via the Osumi Strait, which is situated off Japan's southernmost main island, Kyushu. In separate press releases on Tuesday, the Joint Staff reported that an unmanned aerial vehicle was twice detected off Taiwan's east coast. The previous day, a PLA Air Force Y-9 aircraft was observed flying through the Miyako Strait from the East China Sea, while a presumed Chinese drone was tracked flying south to north off Taiwan's east coast. In each of the above cases, Japan scrambled fighters to monitor the foreign aircraft. Japan is increasingly unsettled by China's push to supplant the U.S. as the preeminent military power in the region. Japan's annual defense white paper, submitted to the cabinet last week, cited growing concerns over the increasing frequency of PLA Navy deployments to the first island chain and beyond. Chinese warships passing between islands in Okinawa Prefecture, in particular, tripled in number between 2021 and 2024, according to the white paper. Beijing criticized the document, saying it peddles the false China threat and that China's national defense policy is defensive in nature. The Chinese ships were allegedly conducting electronic surveillance, monitoring military exercises, and gathering sensitive data from both commercial and defense communications. This type of activity has raised significant concerns among Southeast Asian nations and their allies, particularly the United States and the Philippines, who view these operations as direct threats to maritime security and freedom of navigation. According to defense sources, Allied patrols moved swiftly to intercept and shadow the Chinese spy ships, sending a strong message. The South China Sea is not Beijing's to control. The interception underscores how military posturing in these disputed waters has escalated from diplomatic standoffs to active surveillance battles. Experts say these Chinese surveillance missions are part of a broader strategy, testing responses, mapping military capabilities, and asserting dominance in international waters. However, each interception fuels the risk of miscalculation, where even a minor encounter could spiral into a dangerous confrontation. For Washington and its allies, these interceptions send a clear message: intelligence operations won't go unchecked. For Beijing, it underscores the risks of pushing surveillance too far. The South China Sea, already crowded with warships, patrols, and Coast Guard vessels, becomes even more volatile with every encounter. The interception of multiple Chinese spy ships marks yet another flashpoint in the South China Sea. With both sides unwilling to back down, the waters remain a theater of high-stakes power plays. What do you think this means for the future of the region? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on global security events.